Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, we got this drunk woman at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport who lost it at a JetBlue counter the other day when they decided she was too intoxicated to fly. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Yeah. They don't want you to bring your own alcohol on the plane. And, well, that includes the alcohol that you've already put inside your body, apparently.
Whenever I hear about someone telling a story about them being too intoxicated to fly, I think, how intoxicated were you? Because I've been, in my opinion, looking back on it, too intoxicated to fly, where it was visible that I was drunk, and even buddies, too, as well. And it's never been where they're like, look, man, we don't know if we can let you on. Like, so I got to think that you got to be really bad.
Yeah, I agree. She had to be destroyed. Here she is calling the gate agent a rapist and claiming to have a gun on her since she's homeless. Yeah, I think that's too drunk to fly.
Damn it, who does that to a woman like me? No! Get me out of this! You rapist! What? Get me out of there! Get me out of here! I'm gun on me because I'm homeless! Get me out!
Oh, she's just jumping on the counter like a crazy person. She's pretty well dressed for a homeless person. I give her credit for that.
I love, though, when she said that, and the guy's like, what?
Yeah.
And then at the end, she says, I have a gun, and the guy's like, she said she has a gun.
Yeah, at that point, you're not getting on the plane. You're going to go to the TSA special area there, lady.
I've seen people get annoying in front of, like, you know, when something happens that they don't want to have happen, and they just start losing on the person at the gate, and she's like, the person at the gate's not going to be able to help you.
No, I've been that guy. I mean, I haven't been that way or called anybody a rapist or told anybody I had a gun on there, but I have lost it, when your flight, something happens, and that was just all part of me being a crazy person, and nowhere on that line. Though I have to admit, though, Steve, I thought you were very much like that last time you were drunk. You were calling people rapists, you were jumping up and down. I can't believe they put you on the plane.
I don't remember. I was so drunk that I didn't even remember if I checked my baggage in.
Damn. Wow, I know, dude. That was awesome.
I'm looking at now the other video. There's the video of her being detained by the police.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
That might slow her commute down, too.
Yeah, she picked up her stuff and left. And, it's like, yeah, keep walking, lady. It's not going to be long. You can't be telling people you got a gun. They're just going to have to take that seriously. I know over the holiday, I was flying down the Saturday before New Year. They had to lock down SeaTac for some reason. I didn't know what was going on. All I heard was a guy with a backpack. So I was in the A area, and as it were, and I had to get to the end gates, and I was then. So I like to take a walk and just get a little stretch my legs. So I walk all the way from the C gates to the A gates to the B gates, just because it's a big airport. You can get some exercise.
It's like climbing Mount Everest. Right?
Yeah, it's exactly
on the same level. Did
hiking.
Did you have everything you needed to be able to pull this off?
Oh, luckily, they had people like Sherpas on there with their little water for me.
That's nice.
And all of a sudden, I'm walking and like, I got plenty of time to get to my gate, and then I walk back, and there's just like nobody's getting by. Uh-oh. I was wondering, like, the airport's dead. When I got here, it was really, really like full, and there's nobody down here at the A gates. I don't understand why. And then I understood why, because they had roped off everything. You could not get anywhere at all.
Jeez.
And it was getting close to, I got to board my plane. Now, how am I going to get on the train to get from, A to N? And
just run.
And there were just blue shirts everywhere. All the TSA people running around, walkie-talking. And I'm like, okay, something serious is going down. And I'm like, man, I haven't heard anything, so I don't think there's any guns involved.
It's too bad they don't do play-by-play when all that kind of happens.
Yeah.
Just to let everybody know on like the loudspeaker.
I was listening. All
that
I heard was
trip people.
I just heard backpack.
Yeah.
All I heard was backpack, and so there was a dude with a suspicious backpack, I think, that they were trying to find. and they were locking down the airport. It was massive to the point, dude, where you couldn't move because they wouldn't let anybody in, they wouldn't let anybody out. So all these folks who were trying to get out after getting off their plane and just go to baggage, you couldn't get anywhere. Like then after they said okay, it was basically, you have to go through the D gates to get to the N gate elevator or escalator. You couldn't move. It was like wall-to-wall people, and I was like, there's people going to miss their flights. There's no way you can figure this out because it was just such a huge backup that was finally let go.
Could you at least get to a bar?
The bars were good. If you went in the other direction, you were great because there were plenty of bars down in the A-gate area.
Because I think at that point, I just got to chalk it up to a loss and just get drunk.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw it.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I know where all of the areas are that you got to go to get down to that train. Nobody knew how to go to the C gates to get to the N train.
So were you like the Pied Piper of passengers?
No, I didn't say anything.
Well, you didn't help people?
No, I was like...
You're a terrible person.
Well, because then if everybody followed me, there'd be a big crowd.
At least tell a couple people,
and I might get trampled.
But you could be like, hey, look, you look stressed. Follow me.
Yeah, well, the whole joint was... I felt like... And then I got on that train. I felt like a smart guy. There was nobody there.
That's the single reason why you did it.
I did it. I felt like such like,
just to feel superior to
not
others.
Telling anybody I'm better than them all.
When you get around traffic, dude, like with my wife, here's why. When I get around traffic, my wife thinks I'm a superhero because she hates traffic.
Okay, there you go.
So there's a thing in my brain that goes like, I think every time it's almost like a happy day where even there might be a little sex.
Yeah.
Whenever I get around traffic. So my brain was like, when I tell my wife what I did when I landed in California.
That reward mentality there.
Yeah, she was impressed. Not like Steve, who's already gone. He's already done. My wife was impressed. I got around the airport traffic. Got a survey here saying that 30% of us have ended up in a romantic relationship with a roommate before.
Ooh. No.
Wow, that's
Rev,
interesting.
have you ever had a female roommate other than your wife?
Nope.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you were going to be hooked up with Sean.
Well, my grandma.
Well,
That's why I say she was a female roommate.
Actually, I've never seen those movies. So never
yeah, Guilt Hunters, I think, is where you can get those.
Yeah,
movies.
I've passed on those.
Yeah.
Those thumbnails are never. Yeah.
Wow. It looked at the top 10 traits of a perfect roommate, and most of them also apply to living with a partner or spouse. This is why. It makes sense. Because I've often said before, like, a person that's attracted to another person sexually, yeah, that's one thing. You'll have sex with anybody. Especially guys. Guys can, they'll almost say, but you ask a guy to live with somebody, that's a lot different.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. That wasn't a girlfriend. I actually had a couple female roommates when I moved out here. One when I moved out here from New York that came with me, but I was like kind of into her. And then after the trip, it was just like, oh no, this is just a friend. Like this isn't neither one. Yeah. You know what I mean? But when I moved into a house in Wallingford, I had like revolving door of roommates. It was a very weird home. It was just like lots of weird stuff going on. But I never thought about hooking up with a roommate because I didn't want to deal with that headache.
It completely makes sense to me when you think about all the office romances. Again, if you don't know somebody and the first time you meet them is roommate style, just like the first time you meet somebody in an office, and then all of a sudden you spend more time around them. And because this survey looked at the top traits that people really dug from a roommate, well, it makes sense that you go, wow, if they're halfway attractive and they do all these things that people love their roommates to do, you're like, I could see romance happening. Just like, if somebody at the office is really cool to be around and they're a good worker and they're fun to be, I can see where sparks can fly if you're somewhat attractive.
But I feel like roommates, like maybe when you first move in, you kind of have that moment where you're like, yeah, I'd totally bang you.
Yeah.
Not that they would want to do in return, but you know what I mean? Like you'd have that moment like, yeah, that could totally would get it on with that person. But then after like a week of living with them, you're just like, no, I can't. Like that's just...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I could never, I wouldn't want to have to deal with that headache. At least with coworkers, if things don't go well, you still have ways to get away from them. With a roommate, you're living with them.
Yeah, you are. Look, you're like the rest of the 70%, but 30%, I'm in that camp. I think I'd fall for a roommate if in fact, I found them attractive and then all of a sudden they paid their bills on time, which by the number one thing.
I've never been attracted to someone who's been paying bills on time. That's never been a factor in my attraction.
Oh, that would be for me.
What, that someone gets their bills in on time?
Yeah, that's what I'm all about. I'm all about getting stuff done. That's why I never wanted a roommate. I never wanted to have to be like, where's your rent? Because, I just, that's the worst thing ever when you're going.
I get that, but that's going to be a determining factor on whether or not you want to be in a relationship.
Because so many people don't, I think it would actually be a little bit of an aphrodisiac for me if somebody actually paid their bills on time and they were attractive.
Hot. You paid the electric bill 3 days before it was due.
Am I the only one that thinks that's cool?
A lot of people really don't pay their bills on time?
Oh yeah, dude! It's the number one thing that people really appreciate in a roommate is when they pay their bills
Think
on
about
time.
people who don't like get their power turned off or like their water turned off because they weren't paying their bill.
You never had to chase somebody for their half of the rent or their quarter of the rent? Oh, I've heard so many nightmares from my friends going, Jimmy hasn't paid the rent again.
Same as Danny. I've never had that issue. Like personally, everybody I've ever lived with has always paid their stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Good
it
for you.
Didn't turn me on about them.
Oh, really?
Like, wow, you got hotter because you paid the cable bill.
Yeah, I guess I've known so many people in my life that are just so irresponsible with their money. You know, where and you have to pay for it. You know, and I also have heard some stories from, people around me. Joey Dees has told me a couple of stories, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, I can appreciate that when, people just leave you high and dry.
Oh, if I had to track down a roommate, that would stop immediately. I'd be like, just get the hell out of that.
Yeah, you'd have, and if they wouldn't leave, what do you do? See, that's the thing. How do you get,
Luckily, I don't know. I mean, but luckily, I've never had to cross that bridge, and now I don't have to because, I'm married, so we don't have roommates.
Yeah, it's so tough. You can't evict your husband or wife. It's such a bummer.
I do know the passive-aggressive one in the sense of like, I forgot to pay you back is when I lived with roommates, the way we would do everything was through Venmo. And if we forgot to send the payment, we'd get the little notification like, reminder, this person, you need to pay this person. So you can send them reminders.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can request money. So it's like, hey, this is your portion of the electric bill.
Yeah.
And if they don't pay it like right away, it's like, hey, dude, it's been a couple days, in case they forgot, which typically was not ever really a big deal, but in case they forgot.
Oh, somebody says being responsible, definitely a turn on. BJ, I'm with you.
Yeah. There you go. How about doing your fair share of chores? Feel like that's got to be an aphrodisiac. How many women have said they love a guy that if he does stuff around the house, he gets hotter? I've heard so many people say that.
Yeah, I've never experienced that.
So you don't love a guy when he does stuff around the house? No. Doesn't turn you on?
I mean, no, but I don't think ever I do the chores in our house, but my wife never comes home after I vacuumed and is like, yeah, it's go time. You vacuumed.
I'd like to say BJ's crazy, but there is a book and it's called Porn for Women. It's just guys doing chores.
Yeah.
And just that's the joke.
For me, it's tools. When my wife sees me with pull out a hammer, as it were.
All right.
Why would you pull out a hammer?
Well, because that's what happens when you're in my house. The hammer comes down. Well, if I have to do something where I got to go get a screwdriver or a hammer, which I never do.
Tool belt on at least. That'd be so awesome if you
I know.
did.
Safety goggles too.
She's asked me to get a tool belt because she finds that to be a sex.
That'd be so great.
And she's so not married to that guy.
And just put it on whenever you do just the most mundane thing, like you're screwing out, like you're tightening up a loose screw on like a drawer. Let me get the tool belt on.
I need to do that. You're right, Steve, because I know she would find that to be awesome.
I think for men, maybe it would be like if you haven't had a woman cook for you like every night, and then all of a sudden you're with a roommate and she cooks for you every night. I could see that being like, hey,
yeah,
you have the way to my heart, which is food.
Yeah, washing the dishes is also
true.
Another way, Steve, which, by the way, you and your wife do together, and I really think she probably thinks that's cool, and you do it. You wash and dry the dishes together.
Yeah.
And I bet she digs that a lot.
I dry them, man. I'm the dryer.
Yeah, you're the dryer, but you're there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women,
She
I've
gets
heard
them wet and I dry them off.
Dude, I remember the first time
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that doesn't, no.
That sounds like more of an insult than anything.
How about taking out the trash without being asked? Jesus, that was the reverse Joey D's. My God, the biggest battles we ever had was just to get that stupid kid to just go downstairs with a bucket and empty it. And the battles we had over that.
It's not that hard, Joe.
Oh,
God, Joe.
We had to have chip cups, swear cups, everything we could think of to get him to do a chore. And he was like, which is a perfect impression, by the way.
Do you guys ever have this battle? What's your... I like to know what you guys think in this situation.
All right, fine.
You take out the garbage. Whose responsibility is it then to put a new bag in the garbage?
The person that takes out the trash.
That's what I think, yeah.
Damn it. Never mind. I feel like I'm taking out the garbage. As I'm taking out the garbage, why don't you reach your hand under the sink and get the garbage bag and put a new one in? It's a team effort. You wash the dish, I dry the dish, I take the garbage out, you reset the garbage.
I can see both sides of this.
Now, to understand the preface is I always lose this battle, so I'm always the one that's putting the bag in. And I only say that because I always forget. So I put out the garbage and I sit my fat ass back down on the couch and she's like, you forgot something. I'm like, well,
Oh, well, now that's lame.
Here's a trick.
She's trying to train me, BJ.
Yeah,
she's trying to train me.
She could just easily put the bag in at that point.
Thank you. Okay, now I got something.
You could always put a couple bags underneath the actual, like in the garbage can, and then put the clean one over it. So that way it's just right there. And
that's a pro tip from the girl that knows about cleaning services.
That requires foresight.
Yeah. Right, which apparently you do not have.
I never knew about that. I was like, what the hell? What are all these bags doing in here? And then finally I had to be illuminated by the cleaner one time. I said, hey, man, something's screwy. You left a bunch of bags here. I don't want you to think I'm going to take them. And she looked at me like, no, I leave them there because then they're easy to change.
Yep.
I'm like, whoa.
Mind blown.
Life hack.
See, I very much for if you take out the garbage, you rebag it, because when I had roommates, I told them, I will clean everything. I'll clean the kitchen and I'll clean the bathroom. Your jobs are the garbage, because I hate taking out the garbage and killing spiders or getting rid of them somehow humanely. Doesn't matter. And he sucked at both of those.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm like, dude, the garbage is full. That is your one job.
Wait, is that the guy that put a hole in the wall trying to kill a spider? Yeah, you're right. He does suck at killing spiders.
Yeah, and that's
he was more afraid of spiders than me. I'm like, but this is the one time I'm pulling the girl card.
Yeah, I would see, Steve, I would win at that. Mm-hmm. I would be Vicky's all-star because I can do both those things without a problem.
Yeah, I'll clean the kitchen, I'll clean the bathroom, the toilets. It's fine. I mean, if he shaved, I'm like, you got to clean those. That's gross.
I'll tell you what, Vicky, why don't you just come over and do that at my house anyway? I'll make that deal. I'll kill all the spiders in my house and I'll take out the garbage. But would you just clean everything else for me?
No.
Come on, Vicky.
The one passive-aggressive thing my girlfriend will do is if I run out of toilet paper and I don't replace it, she will not replace it. Like,
and what does she do?
She'll just use it and she'll leave it off on the sink. Yeah, that too.
Oh, you mean she won't put it back in the
She
thing?
won't put it back on the roll. So I have to be the one to do it. Now, if she runs out while she's using it,
I'm convinced my wife doesn't know how to use a toilet roll thing, because she's never once ever put it actually into the spool.
Yeah.
It's always just sitting on top of the empty toilet paper.
You know what that is? That means that's your job. And it's a passive-aggressive
Is that a girl thing? Because Sarah's the same way.
No, we've had this conversation before on the show, and I think it's just case by case, because we've had females text in that say that their husband does that or their boyfriend does that all the time.
You always put it back on the thing. Why wouldn't you?
I don't understand how hard it is.
It is not very hard at all, and I think it's kind of silly. But if you want to maybe see if I'm curious, you should get one of the spools that you don't have to have. It doesn't have that little what is it, spring thing in the middle?
Yeah.
It's just an open spool. You just kind of put it in. I wonder if she would change it then.
For a while, when I was just wanting to be a little bit more of a troublemaker, I would put it on the wrong way, quote unquote, because there's a right way and a wrong way.
Oh, you went under rather than over?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then she would complain about that. I'm like,
well, you know what? You can fix it.
Right.
Hey, by the way, while you're fixing that, go put a garbage bag in the thing. Okay.
Now, I am still putting the garbage bags in the thing, and I'm also putting the toilet paper on the proper way now. Yeah. But it was fun while it lasted.
Exactly. Nobody's stupid enough to have these kind of fights with their wife but me. That nobody else is, Steve. So be a smart man and continue with your happy life.
So Steve, you're just trying to get out of doing your chores. Don't be that lazy. I do my chores, man. I do them. I dry the dishes. I vacuum.
What a guy.
And I clean the toilets. Those are my chores.
You know what? Those are nice. I mean, those are things.
Those are my things.
Yeah. And you take out the garbage.
Yes.
Yeah. But and almost always replace the bag. Good for you, buddy.
I'd say I'm about 90% success.
That's not bad. 90's good. She's trained you well. 90's good.
Yes.
You'd make a lot of money in baseball with the 900 average. Hey, what happens when someone goes on social media to state that they are quitting drinking and her friends don't buy it? Yeah, you know what happens. Another edition of Facebook Drama. You're going to hear it at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
Now it's time for Facebook Drama.
And BJ, this is our opportunity to point out the morons that are on Facebook. This is also a nice reminder for those that ditch their Facebook why they should just stay away from Facebook, because there's a lot of drama. And we are going to act it out. This is an actual Facebook post. The drama unfolds because of it, and all of us are going to take on the roles of some of the people that are on this thread. So this time around, BJ, you'll be playing, actually, Rev, you'll be playing the role of the original poster. You will be Naomi.
Sweet.
BJ, you'll be Fred.
All right.
Vicky, you will play the role of Kate.
Woo.
Sarah, you'll be Tiffany.
Oh, hey.
And I will be Nikki.
Nice.
All right, so the original poster, once again, is Rev, or Naomi. So, Rev, please take it away.
My New Year's resolution is to not drink for the entire year. 1 week down, 51 more to go. You think I could do it?
Not a chance in hell you can do this.
No, I highly doubt it, but good luck.
Wow, thanks for having confidence in me, LOL.
I'm with Kate and Fred on this one. You got so effing F-faced on New Year's Eve. I'm surprised you're still not drunk.
Okay, calm down. I didn't get that drunk.
You took your pants off in the middle of McDonald's, waving them around, screaming there was a spider in them, and then we finally got you into my car. I had to pull over so you could hurl. Bitch, you were wasted.
No way. Did that really happen? I don't remember that at all.
Well, this all makes sense. Here's my girl. It all makes sense because when she got home, she was bitching that there were spiders biting her. So she got completely naked and started making pasta. Mind you, my boyfriend was over and saw all of this.
I got naked in front of your boyfriend? Your boyfriend has seen me naked? OMG. I think I need a drink. Hashtag I won't, though.
Now you get why I highly doubt you can achieve this resolution.
Hashtag this is gonna be hard.
Naomi.
I've never been so drunk that I took my pants off at a McDonald's.
That you know of.
Really?
That's my goal for 2019.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Get it done. We're going to Chicago again this year.
Yep.
See, let's do it the Chicago.
Let's make it happen. I have been so drunk to knock on the window begging them just to give me an apple pie and I'll give them $20. I think Rev was with me on that one.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but
It was definitely one at a radio convention.
It doesn't mean that I wasn't there.
We were offering $20. We were banging on the door. It wasn't a 24-hour, so they were closing. And all we wanted was a Frost and a McFlurry.
Yeah.
And then finally, I was like,
$20.
look, just give me an apple pie. I was just so hungry. You know, it was one of those drunk munchies things. Yeah.
None of you had your pants off, though.
Nope, kept the pants on.
This year.
Yeah.
All right, this year. I mean, Danny threw up in front of everybody at the bar, so you guys have to, you have to raise that bar now.
Bar is set, yeah.
I say this is the year that we just completely lose our minds.
All right.
Oh, God.
To the point where, like, BJ's completely embarrassed by his entire show.
Well, he does that every year at
but I know what Steve's talking about. We've had moments
like a hurricane.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had moments that in different aspects of this fine job, there have been individuals where I'm like, oh God. But if everybody en masse,
We're going to all drink hurricanes?
yeah.
Oh, God, that hangover.
Yeah.
I'm down.
At least one day.
Friday night?
And all the way through Saturday, like show up to the panels wasted still.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
no.
Well, you guys can do what you want. I can't stop you.
Can we have like a shirt that says like Team BJ so everyone knows we are affiliated with BJ?
Yes. Or it just says I'm with BJ.
Yes.
Vicky, did you just say Team BJ inflated? I think you got to really pick your words better.
Phrasing.
Jesus.
We'll get into any club we want if you're wearing a shirt that says Team BJ.
Oh my God, yes.
True. Yeah.
Free drinks all night.
All right, so Netflix is saying that 45 million accounts streamed that Sandra Bullock Bird Box movie in the first week of release. 45 million people were watching that.
Jeez.
I got to tell you something.
Have you watched it yet?
No, I'm not going to watch. I don't care about that stupid movie.
Okay, wow. I'm on the same side as you.
It's a dumb movie. They're wearing blindfolds and they got to get around so that the demons don't get them.
Yeah.
Coming from the guy who's like, I need to watch everything because everyone's talking about it.
Oh, no, yeah. I've given up on that.
Remember this one.
I know.
I'm done with that. You guys made fun of me for watching Twilight for that reason. I have now officially become the guy that doesn't give a damn. I give zero F's.
Until the new Twilight comes out, then you'll be back on the stick.
Yeah, I might use that as an excuse. I mean, I remember I almost went to see 50 Shades of Grey, and then you guys told me how bad it was that I did Twilight, and I go, good, I don't want to see that crappy movie, and I didn't. So, the same thing with this Bird Box.
You don't need to go anywhere. It's on Netflix. You should sit in your pajamas.
You're proving my point for me because I'm saying that because people don't have money to get the old TV services like they used to because they're cutting the cords or do whatever they're doing, and Netflix has made it easy for people to do that. Netflix, not all of their stuff is really, really good. Now, I don't know. People say it's a good movie, but I've heard other people say this is not that good of a movie.
Yeah, some people are losing their minds over it. Danny and the Rev are definitely that. But I've seen on Facebook or on Twitter, people just constantly talking about this movie, and it's gotten to the point where I don't want to see it out of spite.
Is it better than Get Out?
No.
Of course not.
No.
That's what I'm saying. See, Netflix is making us think that a movie like that is something we should go, hey, it's amazing, but in reality, it's not as amazing as a movie like Get Out.
Is it better than The Christmas Chronicles, which I think is the best Netflix movie?
Gosh, that's a hard one because I did see that one and I really enjoyed it too.
Yeah,
It's just different.
Yeah.
Well, I figured it's different. One's a
all
Christmas
that way.
movie, and the other one's a horror film.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy Christmas movies that much. That one, I didn't think that
It's
Christmas
just,
Chronicles was that great.
I just think that the level of TV and movies sometimes on Netflix, it's good, but it's not great. Sometimes, like with the Marvel stuff, it goes too long. Like they could have cut probably 3 to 5 episodes from every Marvel series they've done on Netflix, and I would have been happy. But because we're paying for it, and it's all we have because we don't want to get everything else, I think our brains tell us it's better than it really is.
Like when you get a free meal, you think it's really awesome?
Yes. I really, really
Could
do.
be right.
Yeah, because I've seen Netflix movies and I've seen the TV shows, and look, I love a lot of stuff.
I feel like they're getting. I think I'm almost getting to a point where it's like a Netflix burnout. There's just too much stuff.
Yeah,
now.
there's a lot.
Like, I mean, we went on there just last night. We're like, well, let's just find something new to watch, and we're just like, it just takes forever to find anything on that damn. I mean,
boy, here we go.
I know
it's starting.
I know.
On
Get off my lawn. On that thingamabob called an app.
Yeah, I know. I understand, dude. It is a little overwhelming.
I mean, they have categories, and they don't even keep the damn things in the right categories.
No, they don't.
It'll be like comedies, and then all of a sudden there's Bird Box or something like that. I'm like, how did that make it into that category?
I know they really. It is. Netflix is. I think just they're out of control.
And we almost watched Bird Box, and then we put it on, and the trailer starts automatically playing.
Yeah.
And thank God, because as soon as it started playing, I'm like, this looks like a snooze fest. Screw that. So we didn't watch it.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. It doesn't intrigue me at all. But A Quiet Place also, which I heard is a great movie.
Some people are saying you probably wouldn't like it either. If you don't like The Quiet Place, you're not going to like Bird Box.
And it's not that I didn't watch The Quiet Place, or I should say not. I may watch it on demand sometime, but at least that was a movie. Netflix standards.
This is a movie.
It is a movie.
No, what I mean, it's a movie that's
a real movie in a theater where you can get popcorn.
It was in theaters for like a week.
Because they released it for Oscar hopefuls, but Netflix movies on average, are not as good as movies that are released in the movie theater. I bet A Quiet Place is a lot better than Bird Box.
But I feel like you have to watch A Quiet Place in theaters. I heard how quiet it gets. I don't know if you can recreate that at home.
There's like a tension when you're in a room full of people and everyone's being quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like watching the Paranormal Activity or even the Blair Witch Chronicles, it was a lot better watching it in the movie theater. I agree with that.
Someone says Bird Box sucked. Christmas Chronicles, awesome. Another person says Bird Box was so bad I pretty much sat on my phone the entire movie. There's no plot or ending.
And look, Christmas Chronicles had good moments, but there was some bad moments in that movie.
Of course.
Too. Yeah,
it was a Christmas movie. There's very rarely that is a Christmas movie. I mean, there are some.
Come on, Elf, Bad Santa.
Right.
I mean,
there's a reason why those are classics. That's a reason why they're classics.
Yeah, and they were released to a big theater.
Right. Like a big boy film.
The standards are lower. That's all I'm saying.
And Netflix Shogun shows they just throw a bunch of them on a budget, and sometimes they work, but for the most part, they don't.
$45 million viewers is still great. I mean, it's a big success for Netflix. It's a success that Sandra Bullock did something for Netflix because she's a quality actor.
Like someone says, you guys sound like two grumpy old men. Screw that Bird Box.
Well, because look, I will defy anybody to tell me that's better than something you can go see in the theater. I'm sorry. There's things you can see in the theater. I mean, I saw Into the Spider-Verse, the Spider-Man movie. That was fantastic. It was released in a movie theater.
That argument is dumb because you could have gone and seen the Emoji movie in the theater.
True.
It doesn't make that any better.
That solidifies his argument. The Emoji movie was great.
Oh, you stop that.
No, but I'm saying that the greatest movies they release, you're right, Rev, they release a lot of crap too, but the Netflix movies, very rarely do I watch a Netflix movie and go, wow, this was better than any movie I could see in the theater. I never say that.
Didn't you like the movie Bright?
It was not as good as what I could see in the theater. It was a decent movie, but again, it suffered the same problem a lot of Netflix movies suffer. It could have been probably 20 minutes cut out of that movie. It wasn't great. It was okay. Bright.
I don't even know what the hell Bright is.
It was Will Smith, and it was basically like goblins and magic in the middle of urban police drama.
It looks like he's a police officer with Hellboy or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's basically, yeah. The guy was like an orc.
Yeah, he was a police officer with Gollum, basically, is what was going on.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So 45 million viewers. You know what? It's not bad for Netflix. Good for them.
Well, one texter brought up a good point. Think about how many people share Netflix accounts. So you could even add more to that.
Yeah,
multiply that by 6 or so.
But in some situations, Rev, you're right.
But see, that's the key. You're sharing accounts. It's low budget entertainment for folks. And look, it's decent entertainment, but I think your standards get lower. Like you said, Steve, you get a free meal.
One person says it was weird to watch Quiet Place in the theaters. It was almost creepy in a cool way how quiet it was. I've never been to a quiet theater.
Yeah. I just don't think
How much would it suck if you went to see Quiet Place and somebody had one of those Jolly Rancher candies or the candies that have really loud wrappers? And they just, I've been in situations where someone sits behind me and they have the loud, I'm like, can you wait for a loud part of the movie to open up your candy?
Yeah, and there's not in that movie, there's none.
Oh, that would be so bad.
Yeah. Got a new survey asking people what they'd rather do, than have a tough financial conversation or spend time really working on budgeting and planning. I got
watch Bird Box.
Yeah, that's one. You're right. People would rather watch Bird Box than do that.
One.
It's a tough one. I mean, Joey Dees is a little cooler about it, but he doesn't like it. But Sarah hates it. She's like, Dad, can't you just do everything with my money? I go, no, they won't let me call on your behalf anymore. You're now 28 years old.
Look, that's the blood is on your hands, man. You gave her a job. You let her live at home.
I know.
Now she's like, Daddy, I don't want to do my stuff. That's adult stuff. Okay.
I look at J-Rubs every time and go, guess who's going to have to help her with this stuff? Because I'm tapping out.
You're not going to tap out. She'll continue to guilt you until you die.
Well, I mean, if she's
rather morbid.
Thanks,
but
buddy. No,
sorry.
I make her learn this stuff. I make her be on the calls with me and everything. She hates it, but I make her do
Sarah,
it.
I would love to hear this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she hates it. We have a financial advisor, and she just is excruciating. And he'll call her by himself. She goes, Dad, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. Can we have a group meeting?
Really?
Look, the world of finances definitely can be confusing, I think, for the average person.
Sure.
And Sarah, well, when it comes to math, a little below average. And
oh, hey. Well, yeah, that's very true.
So how's it going with you and your money?
Oh, it's going great. I'm a great saver. I'm great at just putting it away and not touching it. But I don't know what the hell he's talking about. It's like a different language.
Investing is her issue. She doesn't know anything about investing, but she knows how to save at least.
Like 401ks, your CDs, your FIFA, I don't even know.
Isn't FIFA like the soccer people?
It's a fun soccer game.
I don't know. There's just a lot of words, a lot of Yeah, that's it. See? Maybe.
FICO, actually, is what you both are trying to say. You know, Vicky's a genius, too, over there.
I'm trying to figure
FICA.
I never said I knew what it was.
Oh,
what the FICA?
Yeah, honestly.
All right, here's a question, because I'm looking at the survey that BJ has, and it says 16% would rather sit through an intense movie, a sex scene in a movie with their parents, as opposed to doing the finances.
Ugh.
Yeah,
you and Mom? Whoa, really? You'd rather watch your parents get it on?
No.
No, so I'm watching Game of Thrones or a movie and they're banging on screen. My parents are sitting next to me.
BJ, you got to help her with the money. Yeah, you got to have to. Yeah, don't ever let her handle her money. She's going to be homeless. Yeah, she'll be homeless in 2 days.
You're absolutely right. Now you know my predicament.
I'm not the brightest. No. Oh, I was like, Vicky, that was a really quick answer. No. Oh yeah, just watch it next to you, but it's somebody else doing it.
Like full on. Yeah, no, like I said, like a porn. How about we'll just say that? Like I don't know why they had an intense movie sex scene, but let's just say you had to watch a porn sitting next to your parents.
Porn's different than like a sex scene in a movie. I would say I'd rather do my finances.
Yeah, Vicky's right, because there are times where we're watching a movie and there is a love scene in a rated R movie that's still uncomfortable to watch with your kids.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones love.
Game of Thrones is tough to watch, with your parents. And
I'd rather do my finances than watch that show.
I know, right?
Same.
You all suck.
You know what? You guys can all go F yourselves. That's a great show.
Stop being so grumpy, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Bird Box is better.
Shut up, Danny.
There's no Bird Box of Thrones. You know why? Because Bird Box sucks. All right.
Yeah, I'd probably watch a sex scene. Maybe not a porn, not a full-on porn, but a sex scene than rather talk about.
They deal with finances.
Yeah, I mean, really, I just kind of tune it all out. The finances anyway. I literally tell our finance guy, I have no idea what you're talking about.
But he legally has to talk to you. You know that.
I know, but he has to dumb it down.
Yeah, it's hard
really,
to do.
really down.
He really dumbs it down, and Sarah still doesn't get it.
That's exactly what I had to do when I was trying to figure out the whole home loan process and stuff. And the guy's saying these big words. I'm like, dude, buddy, pretend I'm 4 years old. That's exactly what you need to do. And he couldn't do it. I had to go to another guy, and he explained it for me.
Now you know why we got in trouble in 2008 with that whole real estate bubble.
Yes.
There's a bunch of Vickies going, sure, all right, yeah, I just want to be able to have it.
We learned
Where do I need to sign?
Yeah.
We learned how to do fractions and all this other crap in like history and stuff in high school, but we didn't know how to do our taxes. We didn't learn how to do any of this other crap that is essential for adulthood.
Well, fractions can be a little helpful. You know, the math is a little helpful in this world.
Not when I got this calculator app on my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it because teachers in middle school, they're like, you're not going to carry around a calculator on you for the rest of your life, so you need to learn to do this by hand. It's like, bitch, you thought wrong.
That still doesn't make you win the argument that you are clueless when it comes to finances.
Oh, no, I am. I just wish somebody would tell me.
I love how Vicky's like, I showed her, I'm still stupid.
I showed her on fraction.
But I got a calculator with me, so.
Oh, how about this? 30% say they'd rather get stung by a bee than have to go through this.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I've never been stung by bees.
I've been stung by a bee.
It sucks, but it's not awful.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's quick. It's
I'm building it up because I've never had it done. So I'm like, oh, God, no, I don't want to.
Wow, this is the rest of your life. I mean,
I don't think it's stung by a bee to watch Bird Box.
Yeah, the Bird Box is still, I definitely would rather talk to the guy.
You know how sometimes you do financial stuff and they have like all the, or even like anything, when they have like those agreements that you have to like read through and then click the box.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys read everything in those?
I never read those stupid
skim
things.
it.
See, sometimes I don't read them, but I just stare at it blankly just so it looks like I'm reading it. Because I don't know why. Like, I just have to like make it pretend. But then the person that they kind of get impatient. I don't think they expect anyone to really read any of those, all the fine prints. They're like, yeah, sir, you could just sign right there. I'm like, I'm not done reading. And then I continue to just stare at words. Okay, that looks good.
I love that. You're trying to show, don't try to put anything past me because I'm reading your stuff.
I'm on to you guys.
Yeah, and they know he doesn't know any of this stuff.
He doesn't know how to read.
Right, this guy's just staring blankly at it. He's drooling at this point.
Yeah. Damn. Well, yesterday, Steve, not drooling because he got this one right.
In the Matrix, what color pill did Neo take?
Pink.
No.
Red.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
How about Red was like, I didn't think you'd get it right. I mean, it's got to, come on, everybody knows the red pill, right? No?
Why not? It's blue or red.
Yeah, it's one of the two. Just go blue or red. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.